welcome to another Coffee with Kilroy, or what I like to call Beverage in a Book. My beverage, or my brew, as it is Halloween, is coffee. And my book, as it is Halloween, Call of Cthulhu Roleplaying game. Yes, I decided to kick off my full day and into the evening of Halloween content with Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. I pulled this off the shelf. I've had this for many years and messed around with it a little bit, but never a full campaign of it. But thought it was appropriate to start off Halloween with this. So let me get another sip here. And let us take a look at this. This is Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. Monty Cook and John, what is that? I can't even pronounce that last name there. Maybe you guys can help me out there. It's kind of hard to read with this script. Maybe when I get inside, I'll get a better look at it. Here we go. Here's the back of it. Let's get a little bit closer in here, or actually go out a little bit so you can see what this whole book will look like. The old ones were, the old ones are, and the old ones shall be. If you're not familiar with Cthulhu or the myths that were created by H.P. Lovecraft and then continued on with other writers and novelists throughout the years, and also is now fully it has been fully adopted and integrated into games and other role-playing aspects and some movies, although I don't really know of a lot of straight-up Cthulhu movies, or at least not good ones. But definitely it's in the board game hobby and has been around in novel form for since the late 20s, early 30s, and beyond. Ancient knowledge and dark secrets await those brave or foolish enough to delve into the depths of the unknown. Discover terrifying, malevolent, coffee break, creatures. I suggest you sip whenever I make a mistake. Otherwise, you're going to be done with your coffee very soon, if that's the case. That defy the darkest recesses of imagination, confront horrifying truths long hidden away from the minds of the sane. The risk of investigating such arcana reach way beyond death. The rewards exceed explanation. Inspired by the works of H.P. Lovecraft, the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game is a self-contained D20 system game that provides everything you need to explore the realm of horror. So that kind of dates this. Currently, the Dungeons and Dragons is in 5th edition, which kind of moved away from the D20 system. D20 system was kind of, I think, mainly the 3.0, D&D 3.0 and 3.5, and I think Pathfinder draws some core from that as well. But D20 system was kind of a open license type system where everything kind of could feed off a core system, the D20 system, where your D20 determines a lot of your skill checks and attacks and stuff like that. But then you can build other themes around it, which is what this did here. So let's look inside the cover here. This is, see if I can find the copyright on this one. First printing was March of 2002, so this is 21 years old as of the print or the publication of this video. That font is killing me. It's kind of hard to read. Here's your contents here. Here is an introduction talking about H.P. Lovecraft, but now let's look at the melding of two games here. As you can see here, this version of Call of Cthulhu is a synthesis of two great role-playing games. The original Call of Cthulhu has been around for 2 decades and has been loved by gaming hobby since its inception. The Dungeons and Dragons game is even older and its most recent edition has introduced the concept of D20 rule system. Of course, this is 2002, mind you. A rule set simple and straightforward enough to be applied to genres beyond medieval fantasy. For the most part, what you hold in your hands is the story, the places, the concepts, and the people from Call of Cthulhu game as seen through the lens of the D20 rules. We have attempted to retain every aspect of play from the original Call of Cthulhu game while using the new rules. So basically, that kind of tells you what this is. This is a taking of the old Call of Cthulhu role-playing game, which I don't have any familiarity with, and adding it to the D20 system, which I have some familiarity. And this gets you so this is the introduction to the H.P. Lovecraft world. This is introduction to Call of Cthulhu as a game, the melding of into a D20 system, and then what is a role-playing game? We get into basic what is a role-playing game. So let's have character creation here. Shedding a little more light on the subject. We got character creation, so it's going to have your standard, like any role-playing game, you're going to have ability scores or abilities, and then they're going to have different levels. Here we have strength, dexterity, constitution, intelligence, wisdom, and charisma. Those are the basic D20 ones that go all the way back to, Dungeons and Dragons first edition, I would imagine. So this is all talking about character creation, saving throws, big concept in D20 role-playing games, and then, of course, experience. You need to be able to advance your character, or what is the point. Now, not all role-playing games let you advance your characters. Let me have a drink here. But the ones I find that are the better ones, I think, do have that, because it gives you a sense of ties you to the character and their fate and their destiny, and you're trying to push them forward and get better. So we have some templates here for different types of characters, like agent, antiquarian, archaeologist, artist, musician, blue collar. Man, I'm having a tough day today. Criminal, more coffee. Detective, dilettante, doctor, nurse, parapsychologist, priest, clergyman, professor, psychologist, soldier, technician, white-collar worker, businessman, writer, reporter. And it tells you about some of the different skills that go with them. Cthulhu is originally set in the late 20s, early 30s, and is basically a mystery. I mean, there's a lot of detectives or writers or researchers that are involved, and they uncover this this mythos of the old ones, the great old ones, and it's so mind-bending and horrific that you lose your insanity the more you or interact with them or investigate them. And that's a common theme in most of, if not all, Cthulhu games and books and role-playing and other aspects of Cthulhu is that, insanity. Not only can you lose your life by getting damaged, but you can lose your mind by all the horrors that you see. Here's some skills here. Acquiring skill ranks, and here's your list of skills. Take a look at that there. And a lot of these look like some of the ones you would normally see in D20. Then we've got, here's an explanation of some of the skills. And this is what you'll be doing your checks on these different skills during your role-playing endeavor. So these are all going to be kind of a little bit more modern. When I say modern, more modern than like medieval or fantasy, but not as modern as, advanced weaponry and stuff like that. There's pilot, repair, research. Imagine research is going to be a big one around here. Spellcraft, so you get into the supernatural in here as well. Here are feats. Again, this is a system or as an element of the D20 system. It had skills and feats, and feats were like a specialized skill that you can get over time. And here's some of the different feats that you can get. And that was one of the things that one of the criticisms of D&D 3.0 and 3.5 is it got really complex and became kind of this mid-max endeavor of between skills and feats and the class you were and matching all that up. I mean, there was really a lot of emphasis on the character build more so than on just playing the character at times. At least some people found that to be the case. Psychic feat descriptions. I mean, we're not only we have the supernatural, we have the psychic in here. Again, the mind is a terrible thing to waste, but the mind is something that's very important in this game. And here we have sanity. Again, and the loss of sanity. Again, that's a very, very core concept in any Cthulhu storyline or setting. And so there's quite a bit of rules on dealing with your sanity and mental disorders and the like. So if you're a budding psychiatrist or a psychologist, this is a game for you. You can either dispute some of the assumptions or discover new ones on your own. Here's combat. You have to have combat in a role-playing game, don't you? A lot of rules on combat here, and a lot of this is going to be core to D20. The creatures, of course, are going to be different. But it's going to be horrific and all based on the Cthulhu mythos that has been developed over time. Grenade-like weapons. Here we go. Firearm attacks. Something you don't see in medieval D20. Poisons. Here's the environment. Weather. Here's equipment. So you got melee weapons, and you're going to have all the stuff that is typical of this time period, which again is the 20s, 30s, possibly even into the 40s, but I think it was really mainly focused around that time frame. There's some of the handguns there, and a little description on them. If you're into all that, some machine guns, and some of the fragment grenades. Some of these you really need to have the heavier weaponry because they're from another world, right? They're supernatural type beings here. Clothing, communications, entertainment, lodging. These are all different types of equipment. Outdoor travel, spy tech. Got to have that. Here's magic. So but it's not going to be, the magic is not as dominant as it might be in a fantasy or medieval setting. This is more of dealing with the occult that surrounds the mythos of Cthulhu, or the Cthulhu mythos. Let's see what else we got here. Let's get ahead here. Here's creatures. This is what you're looking for here. All the various different creatures that you might find in the Cthulhu mythos, and which are all horror type based as well, because they're going to affect your sanity. And you have some of the great old ones listed in here, or at least their servants. I wonder if we get to the big ones here. And it's been a while since I cracked open this book. I just pulled this off the shelf for Halloween, so you all could see. Oh, there's the my go. Probably pronounced that wrong. There we go. There's a great old one. Shoggoth. So here's cultists. Cultists are a key aspect of Cthulhu mythos because those are the ones that are keeping the faith, keeping it alive, pushing it forward. Animals. Then we get the Cthulhu mythos. So this is interesting. This is the cosmology of the mythos, and putting it kind of all together of who they are, and the true gods, false gods. This whole, and then some of who they are. There's Cthulhu himself, Hastur, all the biggies. Getting the band back together again. Here's Beast, heresies and controversies. So you're getting into kind of the religion of this all, because this is its own religion. It's its own mythos that has been created. Talking about the game master, so this is basically just general rules on how to run an adventure, but also more specifically how to run a horror-based adventure under the Cthulhu setting. Here's stories, how to put those together. So this is kind of meant to be all. This is your Dungeon Master Guide and your Player's Guide and everything all in one book to get into the game. And I don't know if there was a lot this was 2002. I don't know if there was a lot that was done in as far as supplements and missions and adventures and the like. Here we have some of a timeline here. So starting with the rough, let's see, when does this start? So we go back to the 1890. Oh, it goes back further than that. So we got all these different time periods here. the Rough Beast, Age of Empires, Rough Beast, the Jazz Age, the Rise of Darkness, the American Great Wakes, and the Cold War. So we're up to 1959 here. Hot War, 1969, and The Dream Decays, 1979, Escalation of Globalism, 1989, and Modern Day, New World Order. So you've got, so this goes all the way up to, you can go all the way up to present day with your different Cthulhu settings. Again, a lot of the writings and stuff go back to the 20s and 30s. And then you've got some examples here. This might be an example adventure in here, so I don't want to spoil that too much. Here's adventure 2. Got some adventures in here. And anyway, love to know what you think of any of this stuff. Here's some appendix. Deities and the Great Old Ones. And we got some more detail on some of these big baddies. Here's Cthulhu. Gotta take a look at that. So anyway, there you have it for my Halloween take. I thought I'd have some coffee and pull the book off the shelf. I was going to say the Nomonomicon. I can't pronounce that. I imagine it's covered in here. Anyway, that is what I have for you today. Hope you're enjoying your day. Hope you have a scary and safe Halloween. I thought I'd start off with a little bit of coffee and Cthulhu. Have a good one. Thanks for watching.